What is this new devilry?
An Ulamog.
A demon of the ancient world. His foe is beyond any. Run!
Pauperganda. 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 Pauperganda.
Hey everybody, did you catch the Ulamog reference instead of Balrog? Nice little double syllable count there. Thought I got a little bit close, EQ'd it to sound a little dungeon-esque. Anyway, this is the deck. I 5-0'd with this yesterday. I played a version of this in last week's challenge. Pretty cool list. I've eviscerated the lands because I was getting flooded all the time. So little fight, Shirazaman and Chimsky, Mike Man in the house. Good to see all you guys. We got quite a few new stuff today. If you notice the little Ulamog at the top, we got the new intro there. We've got, thanks to Lovecraft's mention about 2 or 3 months back, we've got a little very simple commercial to show you there. There's not really any moving parts to it, but there are some commercials that do that. They just sit there. Anyway, off to the deck list here, guys. We've got 11 basic lands. 11? Why the hell? Well, this is one of the few decks. I usually hate land grant, but outside of days, it's really necessary in this build. For quite a few reasons. Excuse me. Being a ramp deck, a lot of times nothing's more frustrating than get a land, get a land, get a land, draw land, and you're like, come on. So I really wanted to just cut things down and get it really streamlined. So we have 11 lands, 4 Arbor Elves, and then the Sprawl and the Wild Growth for that first turn acceleration. These show up without this, it's okay. This shows up without these, it's okay because of Nissa's Pilgrimage. This is the biggest sleeper card there is. Don't let that spell mastery fool you. So many people on Facebook and stuff are just like, oh, well, you know, it's really hard for you to get two of these things in there. It's like 2 or more and or sorcery. So it can be 2 of anything, but that doesn't even matter. Just without spell mastery, this is a great card. You throw it right into play. Hopefully we'll see it happen a bunch today, and that's why I run 4 of them. So anyway, our removal package main, I've got 2 Serrated Arrows. Delver in the original lists and Delver Red was just 50-50. I would smash them, they'd smash me, rinse, repeat, and it was really frustrating. So found out that Spiders weren't quite the greatest card, especially with the bounce, but these were. And also the for a little while there, not with this version, but with another one, I was having a little issue with burn, and I wanted something. I mean, Serrated Arrows is so flexible. You can just take out Firebrand Archers and all kinds of matter of phase. So anyway, 4 of Mwonvuli Acid, however the hell you say that, Mwonvuli Acid-Moss, 1 Spider, 4 Gross, 4 Utopia Sprawls, 4 Elves, 4 Land Grants, and the Sakura-Tribe Elder. I almost always trip this. We'll get into that. Tangle Golem is our little fetchable. We have 3 Fierce Empaths so that they can fetch things like a Tangle Golem, which is actually very good against control because you usually play it for no mana. And then if they have a hard counter, that's cool. You follow it up with one of these guys. The Tuskers usually never cast, but we cycle it, get it back, cycle it, etc. Gets you 2 cards. Maul Splicer is a nice 3 for 1. Here's kind of another 3 for 1. They got to sacrifice 2 things. We'll run all 4 of these, and with 3 of these, it's like running 7. Nissa's really accelerates us out of there. Pulse of Murasa, we got all 4 of them again. This is about the 3rd build I've done this with. Not so much for the life gain, it's just that utility, giving green access to kind of a black mechanic of bringing things back. They blow up a land or anything like that. A lot of times you're able to feign that you're playing land destruction because we have Acid-Moss and Mold Shamblers is our only land destruction. But boy, there's some people that swear it's like this is a land destruction deck because of Pulse of Murasa bringing this back. So it plays like having 12 of those. Anyway, off to the sideboard. 4 Spore Frogs of the very expensive Persuasion I just recently found out. 4 Moments Peace. Why the hell are we going so defensive here? Well, realistically, this against red deck wins and the new Zoo deck and sometimes Stompy or Elves, you gotta buy these turns so that you can, for any sort of hiccuping that your deck might be doing. I know it seems a little extreme. Hopefully I can showcase why that isn't the case. 3 Quiet Disrepair, very, very good against Delver, buying you turn after turn if things go a little bit slow. That being said, we got 2 more Spiders for that matchup and 2 more Arrows because it was just getting too close, and we all know I love to smash Delver. Anyway, let me check up in the chat here. Time to Sling Spells. And Chimsky says, nice Lord of the Ring vid. Nice, nice, nice. Hey, Syscom's in the house. Good to see you. So, that being said, I'm going to run on over, as I always do, into the matchups here, and hopefully we don't get the bouncing screen. I'm sure we will. And we'll go from here. Yeah, like I said yesterday, I had a nice 5-0 with this. Faced a nice wide variety of things, and I will be doing a standalone little video about it. Just because it's a new deck. I've done them on so many other ones that are kind of staples, and outside of changing 1 or 2 cards, not much really changed there. So, yep, no Macabres, just because we're really leaning heavily on the Ulamog's Crusher ability to just shut that down. That being said, I lost really badly to Hellsaw's build just the other day, thinking, you know, hey, it's Tron, I'm going to be able to run this over. And it felt like that for the first 4 or 5 turns, and then boom. So I kind of wish I had him. Anyway, we're going here. First hand's so big here. This is great. We not quite sure what we're facing here, but we'll keep it. Yeah, Cultivate's pretty good, but boy, this has got it in art and in the second casting. And sometimes, as you see, there are exceptions where you can like double land grant, and then boom, remember we have 11 lands. You're taking almost half of them, or a third of them, I should say. It's gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we will obviously keep this. We're gonna go from here, hit here. Oh, and another big change I made. I got rid of my F6 key altogether. I didn't move it. About 2 weeks ago, I moved it, and then the brain started rewiring, and I started making errors of last week's show in particular, and I just set it to just the OK button. And I've been having great results. There's probably been a dozen times in little just matchups where I'm like, oh wow, that would have cost me that turn and maybe the game because of that or whatever. So looks like here we go. Now I will say this, if we do lose to Delver or Delver Red, and this is true of just about any deck out there, it's a first turn Delver that flips. It's incredibly hard to come back from that. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna reveal my hand, not messing around. I really just want to get rid of lands in my deck, but you see with 11 lands we're gonna have a whole bunch out now and be good to go. Plus, makes them a little wary about some things. Now, the next one will come right out. But you can see next turn we're going to have 5 mana out. We'll be able to probably cast this pretty soon, and the Serrated Arrows behind it. At least draw out a hard counter. But because of this, it's almost like I'll say this quite a few times today, it's almost like a virtual reality card draw. We're really killing the lands out of our deck. And so, yeah, we're only drawing 1 a turn. I tried the, what do you call yeah, looks like a flip Delver, so this one might not go too well, but the what do you call the Monarch card, and it just never like seeing it. It just turns every card you draw in theory into really good stuff. The only really frustrating thing is when you do eviscerate all your lands out of the deck, sometimes you'll draw one of the enchantments, and so that can kind of feel like a bit of, I don't know, just a downer, I guess would be the best word for it. 8686 in the house. My least favorite natural disaster is flood. Yeah, that's very true. I am boy, it's so depressing to get flood. So we got 2, 4, 5, soon to be 6, 7. We'll be casting stuff pretty quickly. Let me see here. That will be 3 mana. I don't really want to do that here. Since I don't have an elf out, I'm just going to diversify here. Sometimes I like to call red just to make them a little nervous. We don't have anything in the deck, but 2, 4, 5. We could cast this, but against this deck, maybe they're running dazes and such. I'm going to drop our Serrated Arrows. Try to prevent them from, kind of flooding the field. I mean, obviously a Bolas comes down, turns into a ninja. That can be an issue, but that's why we got these guys for. What's neat too is green doesn't have much answer and removal. This takes care of the early stuff and the biggest bully on the block, Delver, and things like Tangle Golem stuff trade with Ulamogs because oftentimes you're blowing things up. So good times. Yeah, the Entourage of Trest, I tried that for 2 or 3 builds, and you know, when you're building, or I should say brewing, and you're just, you see the card, you put it in, and you're like, I just don't want to see it. You just don't. It's crazy. Let's see. I think, let me do this here so I can at least kill it next turn. Of course, he could flip it, but that'd be a good move for us if that goes down because it'll tie up their land. Okay. We still take 2. That'll come back. We'll be able to kill it, and we'll be able to block with Tangle Golem. 2, 4, 6, 7. We're 1 turn away from Crusher, and we don't even have the Elf. One of the other reasons I don't run like the Starter that untaps the land, it's a 1/2. It was in my Greenland build. There's a little too much of one thing and the other. I put this together, and it just works. It's been really fun. Actually, I should say the worst it's ever done is a 3/2, a few 4/1s. I have a resident 8686 in the house. I know I've lost bad to him. I've had some. That's what I mean. Against this deck, there'll be like, it's either like 2-0 or 0-2, or it was. Lately, it's been I've been able to pull things off. We got the Maul Splicer. Well, that's removal for days, isn't it? 2, 4, 6, 7. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's bring out multiples because they've got bounce. I'm just gonna drop this dude down. Hopefully we don't see a daze with a ramp deck. That would be kind of sucky. Lovecraft, hey, what's up? Make sure to stick around, folks. The second episode is in honor of our resident friend here and huge Pauperganda fan, Lovecraft. We took one of his ideas about 2 or 3 months old, finally, apologies for that, and turned it into a bit of a commercial. So good times. I was thinking about that 8686. I was actually wanting to do that for that exact scenario. I'm not talking in hindsight either of flipping that ninja, because at the time I thought I'd have this as kind of a permanent blocker and then be able to shut off ninja for good there. But either way, now if he does have any sort of removal, we're all good to go. So we're going to kill this. We're not messing around with Delver. Zap, boom, bing, pow. And with the snow-covered technology, 2, 4, 6. Darn it. Well, I guess we'll do that. We'll pay 2 for a 5/4. That's a pretty cool deal. Unfortunately, we don't have much else. Let's go. And when the Maul Splicer dies, it's good times because we've got so many Pulse of Murasas, and we're able to go get back our army. And you'll notice this nice little synergy with the Maul Splicer, and this being a golem gives it trample. Very small. One of the inclusions of one of the friends out there in Facebook land, apologies for forgetting the name, but they also had a Fangren Marauder, which I ran for 1 or 2 outings. Never liked seeing it. I mean, when these die or this dies against burn, if you're there already, you've either summed up the game or you should be dead already. So I lost it, and I wasn't about to, you can't really run Artifact Greenlands or Tree of Tales in this. So, yeah. Hey, Hod's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so we've got that cool little, my buddy mixed a new Stranger Things style sounding song at the top of the show, which was pretty cool. Enjoyed that. For the Ulamog's Crusher, I was thinking that's kind of the theme for today. After all, we are only running 4 of those. We will block this, and we'll probably zap the ninja at the end of the turn. We've got another one of these. Not too afraid of fairies going crazy with 1 Delver down. Let's see what we got here. I'll zap it now. And the Bolas shows up. He's already zapped us with that. Here we go. Dismissing this. Here we are. Nimchimsky. All right. Yeah, it was funny. Nimchimsky, I actually I had my notes reversed, and I had it as your sunscreen commercial for like almost up until I rendered it. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Nimchimsky was I've got it here still. We still got to think of what it could be for. Get stuffed for snuff out something or other. We never came to a conclusion last week, but we did with Lovecraft, so I almost got that backwards. But anyway, all right. So we've got an Augur versus a Golem. Let's see what we get here. That's frustrating. That would have been any other scenario. We could have probably done something with it. I'm sure he's sitting on counter spells. 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm going to hold back here. Sense a ninja. The longer the game goes, the more opportunity for Crusher to sit down. Don't like that the Scred mana is almost going to be able to kill a Crusher here. Yeah, I know it was Get Snuffed. I can't quite think other than like a chewing tobacco or an assassination guild or something. Who knows? Mr. Carey 16, got you online at last. Well, hey, good to see you, man, and thank you so much for chiming in. Always means a lot to me. I'm always flying blind here. Don't know who's watching in the weeds, waiting in the weeds. Wasn't that a magic card way back in like Mirage? I gotta get a life. Never mind. I like this one. I love Pauper and chilling with all of yous. Here we go. Come on over, Augur. So he's got some lands in his hands. It's getting a little scary here. 2, 4, 6. Well, you know, Crusher's gonna drop. What do you guys say here? Go for the Crusher. He definitely has Counterspell. I think we go for the arrows, feigning that we've got more. Of course, what did we reveal? Did we reveal 2 Crushers? No, we only revealed 1. Happy Friday, Kimbard. Back at ya. What do you guys say? I think arrows too. No, I haven't been playing any from them yet. I've been having too much fun with this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's go crazy here and see if he buys into a bluff. We'll keep the red open for curiosity's sake. He's like, damn, double arrows. What's going on? Counter here. We'll have double crush after this. Little cheesy thing I like to do. Sometimes it buys you a turn. Might as well. Who knows? Counterspell it is. All right. We're just going to hang back. Okay. Okay, I said. I can see why I used to have F6, but really encourage you to get rid of that button. Man, it's amazing how many times it comes up. I thought it was just here and there, but boy, it was almost like every match. Crazy. Odds. End result will be the same if the Crusher hits the table. Yeah, they usually do run 1 or 2 snags or snap effects and such like that, so hopefully we don't see a counterspell here. Let's see what he shows us. Brainstorm. That's kind of good news. Brainstorm can be the most depressing card in Magic if you don't have a shuffle effect. It's like, look at these 3 next turns. You're not going to be able to do anything. So we can take 1. Really kind of stalled out here. I sure hope we get another Pilgrimage. Those are so fun. Almost want to see a Ninja here for the odds of slipping through a Crusher. Pulse of Murasa end of turn is going to start being a lot of fun. Not sure what we're going to bring to the table though. Hey, I'm going to play this just so if they are running of the day's persuasion, I can run it. Doink. We'll go like this. Probably run into a counter spell. And there comes another one. 2 more to go. Outside, maybe a deprive. Some people do it. Most of our players don't play snag. Yeah, I've noticed that too. I think it's a really strong call to have 1 snag in there. It's just scenarios like this. Blue's been getting a lot of WTC love here lately. It has. Yeah, I know Ullman and company, they've really been pushing for, I linked one of the articles on banning some of the cards like Gush and such. But all right, Scred's in the house. That can do quite a bit. Probably going to zap our Golem here. We'll see. I'm obviously going to block something. Okay. That's 2 Screds down. And the Brainstorm. It's going to get painful. This is the scenario. So if this does resolve and Murasa doesn't show up, after all we only run 4, it gets a little frustrating at this stage because next turn we're kind of dead. We got 4, 5, 6. Any lightning bolt and we're dead. So that's why I never really think this is the end all be all. We really needed Murasa there. And we're going to go to game 2. But that's, like I said, turn 1 Delver, flip. I mean, it's true of just about any deck. That's really hard to come back from. So what we do here now is we take out every bit of land destruction except 2 Mold Shamblers. Why? Well, they usually have 2 mountains, and if it's an issue, that's cool. We can grab it. If not, it's synergistic. We're able to go grab it and fetch other things if they've got running weird things like a Bone Splitter or whatever. Or we just snag them a land, and sometimes they want to gush out of the blue, and we're good to go. So yes, all 4 arrows. The spiders come in, and we bring in Quiet Disrepair. Got quite a few things to tangle up with that. So, I'm trying to remember, what was the thing? Maul Splicer is just good for just multiple targets and such. I like the Tangle Golem. You'd think, oh, let's cut that because, you know, they're not a ground crew, but it's kind of a free spell a lot of times, and in a pinch you can Quiet Disrepair it, so not going to go too crazy there. But I'm going to just go down to one Shambler here. I'm not really of the destroy their lands persuasion in this one, and we'll hope for the best. Here we go. More arrows. I agree, says Mike Man. All right. See, yeah, what's neat is if you do have like a really heavy land destruction draw game one, you get that auto mulligan where people have 2 lands and they're like, it's not enough. I gotta have more stuff against this deck. So nice little psychology there. Yeah, I want to play first. Good hand, good hand. So here's the scenario. This is cool. Let's say they've got Electrickery. It's not that big of a deal. It sets you back a turn or two, but you could say the same thing about their hand when they run it. So we're going to keep this in one of the videos where that I'm going to be uploading probably this next week. Really highly polished, one of those deck tech videos on this. If you're playing against this, I probably wouldn't run Electrickery. I mean, it really only grabs one thing. And I talk about that being kind of the pace car of the format where it's like, well, if you're putting that in your deck, you're slowing it down and giving that much more time to ramp into like just the huge threats, which, like I said, Ulamog on turn 3 is a real thing with this deck. Like if we drop a forest now and Ulamog's next, we've got it. The math's there. So, hoo-doo-doo. Olesh in the house. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Okay. Let's see where we're going here. Oh, that's cool. We've only got 9 lands left. Let's hope we don't draw anymore. I'll bust this out. We're just going to go crazy here. We'll say green. Tap this. Green. Green. There's no real reason to say we can cast anything on our deck now. Even if that dies, it's still quite a bit of mana. And then we've got Pulse of Murasa, so it eats 2 removal effects if that starts being the case. So now against another, like a standard UR control deck, I'd probably diversify at least one of these just in case of a Stone Rain out of the sideboard, but I haven't seen many of those in these lists, so there you go. If you use electricity, they have 1 counter less in hand. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. So now I'm not going to say that it's completely useless. I mean, there's really rare games where all you have is like 2 Arbor Elves and you're really scrapping for land, and then it can hit you, but it's good times. So now if this Fierce Empath dies, which we love because our Murasa engine wasn't there the first turn, so that kind of sucked. So we're going to go probably get our Crusher right away because we've got the Pulse of Murasa. Normally here I might go grab the Golem because with 5 mana floating we can do some good stuff. Yeah, I want to use the ability. What a silly question. So, and I used to run the Flash Spider. If you can find that, it's a 4 and 2 green Flash Spider 3/4. And that's cute, right? But right now, they see it coming. So unless you had it in your hand, they saw it. And the only time I liked it was when I was going against like Demir or something, end of turn, and I knew they had a counter, and it was like, well, you're going to do it? And playing the Mother May I game. So in that scenario, I didn't really, not too fond of it. So we've got 6 mana, but I'm going to grab the Crusher. We've got 3 Crushers technically here, so good times. And I will block the Augur just because we can go fetch it back, and it's good times. Tangle Spider, that's the one. So yeah, that was in my first build or 2, and I think it was in the one I played in the challenge. Yep, first match, 2 cats, 1 pug. Good to see you again. All right. Zap Aruni. See, this is it. It doesn't, well, let's be honest. It does matter a little bit here, but that's kind of their turn to get rid of that dude, and we've got 5 mana. The ability to go get back our guy. What, he's going to use another spell on it, and we're 6 life up, and then we use it again and again. Kind of a diminishing returns here. And like with Electrickery, let's say this comes down, Electrickery hits. Okay, you got our elf for 1 card, but we want this in the yard. Game of looking up cards, I've noticed. So what changes have you made to the old Pawns deck? Quite a few, Rumblekill, quite a few. Check out the top of the show. We're, I don't know about this. I want to get that back, but yeah, I want to block this. Not that I want to block it, I just want it to die. And sometimes you'll have those Sakura-Tribe Elder games where, boy, you'd think we have a normal land count. There's only 8 lands left in this deck, so that's pretty funny. Let's go get We can grab Empath and the Arbor Elf, but I don't want to do that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. The Arbor Elf for that. Let me grab the Elf. I'm going to go get the Tusker. We're going to get our lands even better. We don't need no help of an Elf. We'll just gain some life and go cycle our way through it, right? Woo! Boink. Yeah, baby. We've got the Crusher in our hand. Golem might be kind of cool here. Splicer's pretty cool. What's this? Let's move these over here. 4, 5, 6. I want to make sure we hit our land. We're going to grab the Tusker, which will kind of net us 2 cards. Little slow rolling here. I'm not a big fan of how this is playing out, but you'll see some cool things. Tangle Golem's a nice one. I like to cast it for free though, Hods. I think you'll find in this deck against anybody with counter magic, it's a nice bait spell, and if it isn't, well then it takes another one of their Scred resources away from our Crusher. Come on. Let me kill it. Good times. Yeah, see? Another resource down. Boom. It's alright. He'll be back. Pretty good value here if he is going to flip this for a ninja, thinning out his deck. Let's see. We've got quite a bit happening next turn. That's fine. Looks like a ninja play. Pauperganda I was thinking about instead of Crusher, as Alex mentioned, would have been maybe the better play. I was thinking about instead of the Crusher. I'm not quite sure what you mean there, bud. With only 3 lands, I didn't want to pay for the Tangle Golem. And plus, it's pretty quick work for Scred to get rid of too. It'll see play, believe me. So we've got an Augur in hand. Arnold says, I'll be back. Alright, 4, 5, 6. Well, we're just like right away from all of these things here. I'm going to do this. I could put them on all these, but you never know. Sometimes they might have a boomerang or something like that. Don't want to completely screw ourselves there. We will cycle this for 3. Definitely have the math next turn. Hopefully we have enough life to live to those turns. Not seeing an early Delver here. Plus we've got so much hate we've yet to draw yet, so good times to come hopefully. We have 7 cards left in our deck, or 7 lands I should say. Gotta be careful of that. And we draw it. Isn't that frustrating? Okay, we'll play this. Let me go grab Arbor Elf. If we eat a lightning bolt, that's cool. If we don't, that's cool. See what I'm saying? Boom, boom. Here it comes. Either way, we can just hardcast Crusher. Do a lot of stuff. And we're technically flooded with 11 lands. But it's nice to look at this 45 over here and know that there are only 6 lands left in that. And with all these enchantments out, it's mostly good spells. So another reason for Murasa. We want to live. We want to live a long time. Ooh, I love this play. Please don't drop another island. We might be in Ulamog town here. Counter spell. Don't like to see that. But I do like it when there's only 1 island. No, there's the other one. Okay. Zap. That's fine. Very cool. Don't need it. Using resources on stuff. Maybe thinks we were going to block. Wants to draw the card, but he's got a counter spell. The elf, unmolested, would have been able to at least represent a lot more threats there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we're going to play this. He knows we've got a Crusher in our hand. We've got 2 Murasas down. I'm thinking arrows here. Got quite a bit of life to play around with, but boy, if Delvers start flipping and everything turns into ninjas, it can nibble your life away really quick. Getting rid of that. There's 3 more in the list. A lot less lands. We'll go from here. I hate letting them just sit on it. I want them to dig and have to go find another one. Maybe tap out the resources and prove they've got it. I'm going to have a little bouncy screen here. Sorry about that. Bottom, bottom. I like to see that. Sorry, I should have that up against a counterspell decks. And this, come on, jeez. This program just... Off we go. Very glad for the glasses today. Have mega bags under my eyes. Had a really, really late night. Kind of a boomerang night. Zipping all over town. And then the night before was that way too. An old friend out of town. And quite a good Magic drafter. Actually played in the Pro Tour. We made a pretty good team. His name was Paul Grassoff. Still is. He's still with us. We made a good team because he was kind of a rules guru. And I was kind of the constructed guy. And he was really into drafting. And unless I really focus on a set, I'm not too good of a drafter. If I get quite a few drafts in me, I am. This is interesting. Now, if we didn't have double Pulse of Murasa, you can see this would almost be over right now. And we've got good stuff here. I'm pretty sure they just drew some bounce. This just shuts the door. But we're going to get this through while we can. Even Daze doesn't work here, unless he's got 2 of them. He has another counter, I think, if you not. Maybe you had one left. That resolve. They only need to find a counter for each turn, says Hodds. Yep. But we're really diluting our deck and buying time with Murasa, and so far it's been enough with this build anyway. I'll be very surprised if this gets to attack next turn. Maybe he's of the, let's see. No, oh, that screams he doesn't really have much other than maybe another ninja. So at this point, hopefully the dissipation of our lands is going to pay off, and we can maybe throw out a serrated, draw the hard counter, and then drop Penumbra Spider. Hopefully. That Spider's a house. Yeah, and it is against every deck. It's even against Dimir Control and stuff, just takes away their edicts, stops Mole Drifters, makes them kind of time out. Against Stompy, it's just like, what are you going to do? Of course, with the Elephant Guide, they have plenty to do. But it's a lot of card in 4 like that. So, all right. We're at 21. It's not feeling that great, actually. Let's see. He's got that dude out. Let's see if he nibbles on this. Just for another blocker, maybe. Kind of want him to drop. Oh, I was hoping he would drop a... This way I can block the ninja sack. If they're silly enough to use removal on it, that's good times. I know there's a counter spell. Alright, down comes that. It's going to hit us even harder. Alright. Okay, this attrition can't last that long. We're not getting hit that hard. Our ninja will take kind of a dive here. I just need 2 threats for that spider to be kind of a thing. This is when you do wish you had the 3/4 flash spider, right? And there were scenarios where it felt like tech, but the majority of the time you search for it and they know that you've got it in your hand. But it's nice end of turn stuff. All right, no flip Delver. This is good times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more Snowland and a Scred block ninja, and it is no good. All right, we're going to go thin our deck here a little bit. Hopefully, this is the part where you don't want to draw a land. There's only 11. 2, 4, 6. About to make it 4 left. Sack this. We'll go get a land. See what we can see. All right, time to switch to Coke here pretty quick. Carbonation time. Yeah, I'm really surprised the spider doesn't see more love. When you're brewing just with green, you're always going to come across that. Here's what I wanted to see. So now, spider's kind of the MVP here. And there's only one phase, so I'm gonna drop this, representing that we're gonna kill the Delver. Spider's more important to me here. Hard counter, please. There it is. Hopefully he doesn't have another one, but hey, he's playing a ninja, so it's not totally out of the question. And our spells are high enough that usually most of them warrant you have to have it. Like, you've got to have something big time to block this. Who knows? If he doesn't have this Scred here pretty quick, trip the wilds, thin the deck, sack it. Harmonize, is that a card I'm not aware of? That's a rare thing to do to me. Give me a card I don't know. But yeah, outside of a flip Stormbound Geist or Spire Golems, which they just block all day, it's good stuff. And against Delver Red, Delver, it's not that great of a card. I mean, it's still, it is great, but it's not amazing because they bounce it the majority of the time. And so here, a Scred, it's like, well, it's back. You have two answers for my one thing. It turns into another problem. Draw 3 cards. 2GG. Hey, Gotanio, good to see you. Hello back to you. Is that Pauper legal, Harmonize? I had to have. I would have seen it if it was. Come on. All right. So we've probably got the Scred Ninja block going on here. I'm going to block this all day long. If he's got Scred or Lightning Bolt, better that than my face, right? Get the little Despondent block going here. That's a fair price for 3 cards, though. I'm telling you all, I know I beat this to death. Vampire Nighthawk is going to be downshifted within 3 years. That's fine. That's 3 less to my head, and the problem's back. And now, here's what I'd like to demonstrate. We have a spider. We also have one here. So Pulse of Murasa, if you're even only playing one of them, you can just, it acts like quite a few of them. Now we've got life. I really want this to stick. That was an interesting play. Doesn't make me really fear anything because of the, I was expecting like a Scred combination block with the ninja here. And I don't think Quiet Disrepair is going to really warrant a hard counter, which our opponent only has 2 more of. We'll see. But Scred gets more and more precarious the more permanence he loses here. Quiet Disrepair is kind of the sleeper card against a lot of Delver builds. They just, it's a house. Gotta watch my time a little bit. We got 10 minutes. We'll be all right. We'll put it on the least offending party. Probably 1 in 100 games you use this offensively. Otherwise, it's always for the life gain benefit. And again, I'm going to really go over kind of a caffeinated version of this list and go through the last tournament and probably like a 20-minute thing, really highly produced stuff. So I'll be editing that this weekend. Yeah, that's kind of Vampirundi. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. All right, he annuls it. It's a really good play, actually. That would really shut the door. He could still bounce, counter, boom. Flip that into another ninja. Keep going. Yeah, Macari 16. I know it's one of those kind of laughable cards until you see it across from you and you're like, wait a minute, I can't do much here. So I'm really liking this lowering of permanence for obvious reasons with the Ulamog's Crusher Annihilator ability, but mostly to just keep the guy safe outside of bounce. Combo block with the ninja and Scred, but that's getting out of range, or is out of range now. All right, he's saying bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, top. Let's see what we get here. Hey, opponent's down on time. Maybe I'm not chatting enough. YXCV12. Good times. Woohoo! All right, T-Core is in the house. Good to see everybody. All right, yeah, last weekend I know it was kind of a quiet one just because everybody was watching the new Dominaria set come out. Anybody having success with the new cards? To answer 86's question earlier, I bought them all and then I didn't do anything. It's just like, hey, look at this green ramp deck. Okay. All right. If he's got bounce and followed by counter, like a snag counter here would probably win it for him. But again, you got to remember, we've only got 5 lands left in 39 cards. Watch, we're probably going to draw one. It's just how Twitch goes. He's got blockers. That's 5 a turn. Here comes some more blockers. Yeah, this is getting scary. That's why I wanted that Disrepair to resolve. This is good too. 4, 5, 6, 7. Go get that Spider back and really shut the door. I think that's our best play. We'll grab Spider. Go up to 16. That's too many Murasas. Oh yeah? Rewind that. You've been liking this in draft. Or I've been liking this in draft. Oh, Grow from the Ashes. Sorcery Kicker. Interesting. Very cool. So it turns into a game of what do I kill next? As we saw, that Scred really gets kind of shut off with this Spider. Again, a lot better against red-blue. Not so much against just blue, because one of the Achilles heels of this deck with crushers and such is bounce. Usually they only got so much of it, and you've got such a preponderance of mana that you're able to just kind of overrun them. But, well, there's crusher bait if I ever saw one in that Ash Barrens. Yeah, here we go. Can't block with that dude anyway. Pulse of Murasa shows up again. We're going to crush the resources. End of turn, will Murasa. Or should we? He's only got 1 mana. I'll just do it now. Probably get a concession. We're at 9. We're about a minute up on our opponent here. Yeah, we'll go get the Fierce Empath here. I'll cast it. Now we'll go get our dude. Yeah, I want to use the ability. Okay, so we're 1-1. Like what we did. Anybody got a problem? Speak up now. We got time. We're 1-1 against the big bully on the block. We've got to really get mana screwed or flooded, which is almost an impossibility with this list with only 11 lands. Yeah, Vaporuni Pulse is just, it's such an MVP. And again, you know, people are like, you don't need to gain that much life. And it's like, sometimes you don't, but it's always nice to get back your best thing, get right back in the game. And with a toolbox strategy like this, let's say maybe Maul Splicer is really good. You keep blocking and killing it, boom, you keep getting stuff back. It's like adding black to the deck, so you're able to just kind of mess with your graveyard there. Seems to be doing well. Run it back. I'm thinking so. Let's see. Those Murasas are really it, says Olesh. Yeah, it's frustrating, Nimchimsky. I tell you, there have been times I've got all 10 lands out, and I'll maybe I'll land grant and I'll get the last one, and then the next draw is like a wild growth. I'm like, ugh! And it has to be the white bordered one too, right? Ugh. All right, here we are, guys. Let's run it on through. Here we go. We'll open that up. Open this up. Let me know if everything was looking and sounding good, or if you want. I've got cards set to auto size here, so kind of flooded here, but we've got an early disrepair. Land grant, sometimes it's neat to, you can kind of bluff into this, and this Spider is going to be coming out pretty soon, so I'm going to keep that. One of the drawbacks to this deck being so low on land count, you've got to be very optimistic about your chances of seeing a land in your opening hand, and kind of really think about, well, I think I'm going to keep that hand. We'll go here. So we've got a lot of stuff. I might call red here. I'm going to call red just to make them kind of a little apprehensive, like, oh no. Sometimes you're able to keep that up later and feign Electrickery if you know they've got a Spellstutter Sprite in hand. So yeah, that's 2 cats, 1 pug. You said it all there. We got to when we did do this last set review for whatever Murasa set that was in. Boy, it was a good time. I was like, never felt so right about a card. I knew that thing was going to be a powerhouse. I had no idea it was going to be that burly. And I had high hopes for it. I thought it was going to be in a lot of decks, but lately I'm just like, oh, come on. That's enough lands already. All right. I think we Quiet Disrepair here. That's what I'm going to do. There's no way they really can deal with that. It's going to nullify a lot of stuff. Once we set up our defense, we'll be all right. He's probably going to drop a bunch of fairies. hopefully our he's a little hesitant on land. Of course, having a ninja helps with that immensely. Telling you, I know it's kind of weird thinking about Delver. It's like they're not burn. It's like, oh boy, they nibble you apart, and Quiet Disrepair just buys you so many turns with that. Too worried here. Yeah, Disrepair. What am I saying? Despair? Vocal dyslexia now, right? Okay, he's lacking red. Here comes that, representing a counter spell of the 2-mana Persuasion. We will gain 2 life. We will always yield to this. And we will laugh at your attempts. Okay, so this is when I like this. We don't have elves, so we're going to move these things over here. We're going to go like this with this. I'm just going to drop it. He's got a hard counter. He does not. We're going to reveal our hand. Going to thin stuff out. Don't really care now. And pass the turn. Treat Terratops in the house. Good to see you. So what's this? Bounce probably, or cycling? Yeah, for Scred. But again, Scred and then what? Another one? In the meantime, we're gaining 2 life. See what he's grabbing here. Snow, land, and the mountain with the little guy on top. You will not see any F6 punts today. I have completely gotten rid of that key. I don't even have the option. I'd have to go to the menu and purposely, that'd be like a punt of the, it'd be like hitting a stone block in a Super Bowl or something, sneaking something. It'd be pretty obvious that I was trying to punt at that point. Yeah, watching some replays and such, I was just like, boy, that seems to be the culprit a lot of the time when I'm just trying to kind of get the show moving. Jace's Erasure and anything else that falls through the cracks is really handled by the Mold Scrambler. That's good times. And we're back up. We're a minute up. Gotta be careful here. All right, you guys ready to draw some damn cards? Check this out. Go ahead and counter it. Now we are almost going to not draw any lands anymore. We put this in play. We haven't played this one. We go boom, boom. Check this out. 1, 2, 3. I'll see your blue and tell you that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 2 lands left in this build out of 43 cards. That's why I love it. It's beautiful. You look at it, you go 11. It always works. Comes through. Yes, F6 has been discarded into the soul hole, Mike Man. Very well said. We've got a minute on our opponent. We've got kind of the most dreaded card unless he's got bounce. And we've got Crusher next turn. I think he knows it. We've even got Daze drawbacks. Boy, oh boy, do I wish this was kind of my answer to not having a good retrace spell in green was, well, I'm just going to be able to do stuff with my mana and I don't want to draw much of it, so I'm going to really thin stuff out. And here we go. To Crusher time. He's got a counter. We go gain some life. I think we've got this one against the big bully on the block, as I like to say. Here comes a hard counter. Oh, Gush. All right. Boy, you better hope you get a counter spell after gushing. That's a lot of permanents down. Just action left. Wow. All right. I think we got this one, guys. We've got Murasa to reset our life. We're up a minute, and we've got 2 of the most dreaded cards in Pauper. Thus my frame here. What did I call myself? Ulamog's luster? I think I'm an elderly Eldrazi if you look really closely, or if you have the HD settings on your viewing device. Well, whether we crash or burn, like I said, this 5-0'd yesterday, faced this matchup too, and hopefully this demonstrates to you that it can stand against the big boys. 9 cards in hand. I love that Gush play because, boy, that really just kind of solidifies everything. And, boy, how good is that versus just a Cultivate, right? Man, I know I've been using the word eviscerate a lot, but there's no better word for it for what we're doing to our land count. Now watch. Let's see if we draw land. Nope. Okay. Ooh-wee. Well, that's insulting. Let's do this before we attack. Hard counter. Nope. All right. I'm going to make this real painful. Look how much respect I got. I'll keep the spider back. You guys say I'm impatient. Look at that. What's this? Zap to the spider maybe? Zap to that. Okay. He's still got to lose the permanence. Zap to that. All right. Lose 2 things. And back comes the Crusher. After he deals with the good stuff. 2, 3. Whoop. All right. He's back. 30 life. 20. 2 minutes up. Good times. I reckon 7. Well said. Yes. Here comes the pain. And no idea what this is supposed to do here. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. Maybe he has 1 bounce spell. Oh, if he's got another island. That's true. He hasn't dropped 1. Island? Island? Nope. You've sacrificed them all away. Well, oh, I forgot we were gaining life. That's a nice side drawback, isn't it? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doink. Notice how we just keep drawing really good cards? That's the theory behind this. Virtual card draw. We still are only drawing 1 a turn, but it's almost always a backbreaker now. We've paid our dues, our dividends, however you want to say it. Look at that artwork. Just love the pilgrimage. Kind of spooky. I think all green cards should have a root in spookiness. I'm going to do this. If he blocks, I'm going to get a little willy-nilly with our arrows. Let him come at it. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. I'll do it. I want that Crusher to have more food. Ooh. Pauper or bust. Crames 85. Ooh, good times. Why wait till I attack? What did I do wrong, guys? Did I miss something? Gotta give credit for the op for that conceding till the end. That's true. All right, so we're 1-0 against the big dude on the block. Nice W. Hopefully this keeps up its winning ways. But yeah, it's nice to see it not running a rogue and stuff, because, well, we should have a matchup where the land destruction feels like a land destruction deck. And what I was noticing with the first build that I ran in the challenge, I had 2 Reap and Sows. I just never liked seeing them. When they were ramp, I liked them, but otherwise I was like, don't quite use them to the full capacity. All right. Let's open up the goods here. Thank you for that, guys. Okay, so we've got a really good hand again. We're going to keep this outside of a daze. We're going to get our Elder, and then we're just running. So let's see. Elves. This, we're probably going to lose the first game. No lie there. That's frustrating. Of course, next turn I'll be able to do it. We're not going to really have to see anything, so I'm going to save on screen real estate here, guys. Have no turn 1 play. Unfortunate. We'll go from here. Every once in a while, about 1 in 4, maybe 5 games against Stompian Elves, land destruction is just a backbreaker, but there's the beast, Quarian Ranger, and that's why I like having that flexible land destruction. You can always Acid-Moss your own stuff if you're after thinning at that point. Sometimes that's the right play if you're afraid of a counter spell or whatever and you just want to thin out the deck, or if Quarian Ranger sitting across from you, because that can be obviously very brutal. Cracks me up how often people don't know they can save their land on defense. Yeah, this will be over really quick. Would play now in my league, but don't want to face you, says MK. Oh, well, that's nice props. Thank you for that. I'm not so scary. Here we are. Man, come on. I've only got 11 of these. I need land grant to work, damn it. So this will at least buy us maybe a turn of, like, sometimes people think, oh, their land's all right. I don't want to attack into that. But if you face me, I'm always going to pitch the Elder unless I've got like 7 mana out or something like that. Anyone need a Pauper cards? Hit me up. I'm selling my paper collection. All right, Mike Man. So yeah, without the now you see what cards do we want, people? Remember when we were all kind of rolling our eyes at me having 4 Spore Frogs with Pulse of Murasa, which kind of equals 8, and then 4 Moment's Peace, which equals 8. So we have like 16 fog effects. That's I almost don't want him to see the rest of this deck because this is really good. Unless he's got like land, and we drop Crusher really quickly here. Yeah, this is I'm going to scoop here, guys. Might as well not even let him see. We've got to win out here. I know this deck well. I can't beat that hand. Loss. Here we go. So right now he's thinking, don't know what that is. These are good. Not so good. I mean, good blocker and such, but Maul Splicer in theory. What we really want is just a ton of fog effects to buy turns so that we can get the Crusher out. So it's been a while since I faced this. I believe I take out one of these, all of these, and I think all of these. So now we've got the big boys, 3-for-1 block, which can kind of, at least these can trade with the Hunt Master if they're getting really aggressive. Tusker is very good for fixing. Nice just early blocker, fetchable. Let's see. But yeah, we've just got to just stay alive and get the Crusher out there. I mean, we're technically playing with 7, so. Elves can be, if they've got the nuts, yeah. I mean, it's kind of true with every deck. Same with that Flip Delver in game 1. But for every game that they have Quarian Ranger, there's one they don't, and you're able to, Serrated Arrows might show up early. So I've won a few 1 games, but usually we auto lose the first game. That's why I've got to be so heavily boarded towards the second. Elves is kind of on the back burner right now, so I'm not too concerned with it. Serrated Arrows is going to go a long way at just picking off problem cards. Go from here. Yes. Wow, it didn't bounce our screen. That was wonderful. Now, before you just auto-fold, just make sure Land Grant's not there. We will mulligan this. It's about time we had to mulligan, right? So this is kind of cool. We've got a little bit of acceleration. We've got an Empath, which we're going to want to block with immediately. Probably go get a Tusker as things are looking here. So we'll keep. We really like this. We'll put this on top. And we'll go from here, guys. Hit this for green. Good times. If anybody does, please look in your Magic Online collections. And if you have a foil Wild Growth, I would really like to indefinitely borrow it, wink wink, for the time being. I just hate the white border stuff. But I hate foils, but I hate white border just a little bit more. But I don't hate it enough to spend like $4 each on them. So figure if anybody has like one of this, one of that, maybe I can get a few of you to do that and we can go from there. So I'm going to Pilgrimage here. Again, ooh, Spill Mastery, you gotta shut up. It's 2 lands. I put one into play right away. Fantastic card. And if we hadn't played a land, boom, we're off to the races. Now, one more spell and it's just like, it's like a green ancestral recall. It's just like, go get 3 things that you're not going to draw later. Good times. I like the new, yeah, I do too, Nimchimsky, and I've been meaning to do that. In fact, I got to write a note to myself to get new artwork for that. So much better, you're right. New art on what's that? The Empath, right? I'm going to be looking at this deck a lot on Sunday. I don't want to be looking at that artwork. Yeah, just kind of, I'm not sure what you'd call that. But outside of Crusher, we can almost cast everything we play now. We don't want to see, don't like seeing the Birch Lore. We don't have any fog effects yet. Let's just cultivate with a slight upside. It's a gigantic upside a few turns in, especially the fewer lands you run. All right. 1, 2, 3 will get us that. That's pretty cool. 4, 5. Spire Golem will be 3. Can't do that yet. I think I'm going to just double play this dude and the elf just for blockers. Sorry for the sniff. And we've already got our Crusher, which they don't really have a way of dealing with it outside of like Timber Watch activations and such. So what I'm really after here, maybe Tangle Golem, but more likely the Tusker. I just really got to ensure we're thinning. We might draw into a fog, that sort of thing. We've got blockers here. Is it 3 mana? This might be an explosive turn here. Usually is. Yeah, you know, when I first built this ramp deck, I was just sitting there one night going, nobody's really focused on, they always try to get out Crusher, and I'm like, what if you really just made a ramp deck? And I had Rampant Growth, I had the Elf that lets you put an extra land into play. This is back when I ran 16 lands, and a lot of other things, and I just kept diluting Sakura-Tribe and that, and then wasn't so much, hey, let's get a bunch of lands out. It's like, let's not only do that, but let's make the probability of drawing great stuff way higher and just get a crazy low land count. And then Land Grant, you know, plays right into Pilgrimage with the Spell Mastery sometimes. Definitely after turn 3 or 4, but sometimes you can have those draws. I had a draw the other day. It was double Land Grant, Pilgrimage. Man, that was fun. It was just like boom, boom, boom. It was like I had Crusher out on turn 3, I think it was. It's nuts. Yeah, that's the best cycler in maybe Magic. Tusker, just don't discount that fact, boy. That thing, it goes and gets you a land and it draws a card. So there's that. I do want this to die because it is an elf after all. We'll put our land out there. 2, 4, 6 lands. We can just flat out cast the Tusker if we need to. Well, the Birchlore Rangers are kind of a problem here. But I think what the play here is we're going to cycle the Tusker. We're going to go get a land, and we're going to drop arrows because I can at least end of turn on a Timberwatch 1-2 it for the next upkeep. Yeah, I want to use the ability. God, why does it ask that? Okay, and so we got 1, 5, 6, 7. This is weird because if I drop Sakura, I definitely have Crusher next turn. But if he has Timberwatch, he's got 5 cards in his hand. I'm going to play a little defensively here and cast arrows unless I hear back from anybody. Anybody against that idea? We've got a nice little life reset. Really, really want to wait for the Spore Frog lock. So it's not really a lock, but it's like a bad jujitsu armbar. It hurts, but it's not really a... Yeah, I'm on arrows, guys. I agree. Really shut the door. Even if they cast the, what do you call the Vanguard here, we're able to survive. This is because they just went nuclear with Distant Melody, and this is the turn when they, you know, kind of spit everything out. So I'm going to shut this down. We're not really learning much from like draw decisions here. Get some nice screen real estate. All right, you can have that all day long. I don't really mind. Actually, it's a pain, but greens, I'm not going to use all 3 on that damn thing. That would be ridiculous. It'll probably end up eating a Crusher, triple, quadruple block, and then I go Pulse of Murasa it back. That's culprit number 1. End of turn, Timberwatch Elf. I'm so glad. I hate seeing that he played that, but glad. Is this the same artwork? Dorman. Let's see. It looks the same. Pollock. All right. Boy, to be an artist with the last name Pollock, huh? He must hear that about as much as I hear Yo Adrian from the Rocky movies. Ping, ping. And Mr. Carey 16 said it all. 3, 4. Ooh, boy, that's rough. That is rough. All right. Well, I got to get rid of 1. And we're just going to... This might be our first loss of the day, guys. We really need a Spore Frog here. Oh, yeah. I'll block that all day long. Let's get rid of 2 elves. Fine by me. I wish there was an empath ability that was a human or something, but we'll kill that elf. Okay. We've got Crusher Math. Problem is, we'll kind of be dead if we do much of that. I think the play here is the Tusker. First things first, we've got to kill that. Murasa to the Tusker. We don't have a Aquarian Ranger yet. A Crusher doesn't really do much. Whatever we block, he kills it with elves. With the Tusker play here, I'm able to at least maybe get a fog effect. So I'm not even going to ask. I know that's the right play. Well, it's easy to say now. Urkern 7, I'd much rather kill the thing that's going to kill us. The old hindsight. All right, we've only got 4 lands left in our build. Let's hope we don't draw one. Okay. Boy, oh boy. We've got 24. At least I've got a blocker. Not feeling good here. At least the Snake Man isn't an elf. Hello, Ruzmov. Good to see you. The new Llanowar elf art. Pretty cool. A little too glitzy for my taste. I think elves should be a little bit dirtier. Not dirt as in dirt. Just kind of that grimy vintage look. Alright, let's block the biggest thing we can and get really hurt by everything else. Block here. Okay. Time to almost be dead. Thank goodness it wasn't a Quarian Ranger. I'm not going to do the math. We might be dead. I doubt it. So we have 2 lands left to draw. Watch, we'll draw one against our worst matchup. Splat! We're at 5. Thank you, Pulse of Murasa. Almost as bad as drawing another land. Well, here's the deal. Problem is that Nettle Sentinel. What's cool with 1 Serrated Arrows left, whatever he targets, as long as Quarian Ranger doesn't come down, we can respond to it and kill it. But he's got 2 bodies that if he's really paying attention, he's going to do that too. So, 1, 2. Let's just, let's do it all here. That's 8. That'll get us that. Cast this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we can, I doubt we're going to live this way. I mean, we can't. I don't even know what I'm doing here. We're dead if he just attacks. Maybe he's just on lands. But even so, all he has to do is turn everything sideways. I'm just going through the motions here, guys. I know I quit that first one early, but yeah. So, before we completely discount this matchup, notice what we didn't draw. We have technically 16 fog effects. We're a third through our deck, and we didn't see a single one. We Tuskered twice for the draw ability, looking for one, and we didn't see it. So, yep, Nick Run 7, you said it all. That is it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break after this, and we're going to be right back for rounds 3, 4, and 5. Hopefully with all W's next to them. This hasn't lost in like 3 days. This will be the first time in quite a while. Okay. We're going to block here. We're going to block here. Go like this. Oh, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. He's targeting that. Yeah. So this is over. We got 1 card left, guys. See all those fog effects? That was so cool. And let's see. We'll grab the Birch Lure. And quickly die. Blech. That's why I didn't. So the brewer in me was like, oh, you got to add red to this list so that you can combat that. But I found it really diluted it. And against certain decks, it's just better to, kind of run the life package, the defensive package. But I mean, let's be real. We didn't draw any of these, and between them both with the Murasa, that's 16 fog effects. Is it crazy, old man? You're silly. You never need that many. Was it enough, guys? That's where I'm going to leave you. I'll be right back after this.
Oh, yes, you, the lad with the sun.
Do you think the Bible is particularly relevant to this generation?
Absolutely. More importantly, it's relevant to me and what I'm doing. Every day I think to myself, old chap, God was talking to you.
Yes, most certainly I didn't hear a word that was just said, because I only enjoy things that are about me. Like, of course, the Bible.
Are you saying the Bible was written about you?
Don't be ridiculous.
Yes, quite ludicrous. I wasn't listening, but I do know that I'm only in the Gospels, the book of Revelation, and of course Genesis. No, the Bible is not about me, but it is about me.
Ah, yes, me. Haven't heard a word you've said, but when I first wrote the Bible, this is good, I thought to myself, well, this silly thing will never sell.
You wrote the Bible?
Needless to say, I haven't been paying attention to any of this, but I was reminded of the time when I created the earth in 6 days and rested on the 7th.
So you're both God.
Both? I'm not quite sure
No
what
one
you're
else
referring
up
to,
here,
lad.
boys. There's only one person in...
Chosen your words rather
for you,
haphazardly. A
Two
careful
people.
choice when you...
Hey y'all, come down to Golgari's Southern Rail for the finest in Cajun cuisine. Whether it's our signature brown scale brisket or the Guma goulash, you'll gnaw all of our items to the bone. Feed your plan at Gongari's. Whether you prey upon the spices root wallets and wash it all down with our famous scorpion slasher, or try our award-winning Sakura steak sandwich with Krosan kale salad, topped with our own wicker bowl sauce. This is Gongari's Sutton Grill. Go get your some.
Every day at Magic's game testing facility, crack geneticists are hard at work engineering new creatures to help you annihilate your opponent. Of course, mistakes do happen. Magic the Gathering. Beat your friends.
And we're back. Waiting, trying to time that right. Hopefully you guys grabbed a few libations of your choosing. Gotta get that echo chamber off the voice of the old man in my ear. Arg. Alright. So, yeah, elves. It can kind of be a bummer. And, McCary, I know you could probably throw a mountain in there. You'd just be amazed when you start doing what you need for certain matchups, what you need for this matchup. When you go that route, it really handicaps you against a lot of the other matchups. So if you need to stick to green, there's also Sandstorm for killing swarms, though it's not optimal. Yep, Vaporundi, I've considered it many a time. Again, just kind of one of those situational cards that I just don't think's up to par right now. Plus, usually in games 2 and 3, everybody's kind of ready for that kind of stuff, either with Dispels if they're on blue, or Spider Silk Armor, Lumathread Field, Goblin Caves. My son's really into Goblin Caves right now. He's tired of his goblins dying to my White Knight. We've got a paper tabletop, couple decks going together, and he usually beats me. He's really falling in love with Bushwhacker and starting to understand the beauty of Kiln Fiend's amplification. So yeah, it's just fun seeing him learn. All right, here we go, round 3. Let's just hope for some variety. This is what you call flooded. This is madness. I think I'm going to throw this back. Of course, we've got life gain no matter what happens. I'm going to keep it. We're on the draw. We are a little bit flooded. We don't have first turn real quick plays. Let's just see what we're up against. New Pauper player. Graze 7. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Not if this is Tron, which I'm assuming it is. This is not the kind of hand we want, but hey, it's already got better with Tusker, with Murasa. We're able to kind of cycle things through. So normally, guys, if I had kind of that kind of hand in any sort of deck, I would scoop it. But you play this deck long enough, you're going to get those Mold of 4 or even 3 card hands, and so you really start respecting. It's like, I got mana. I'm going to sit here and make this work. Every deck's got its disadvantages. That's this one. Once your mana's right, everything kind of just goes screaming. So we'll get a little action here. Normally Tusker might be the play there, but we've got plenty of mana. We don't want more of it. Yeah, baby. All right, so we've got that. We really want Crusher to come online. We could Tangle Golem next turn and put him under a lot of pressure. I think that's the play. Yeah, I've done this before. We don't have an elf out. Tangle Golem represents 4 turns, and I really want them to be spending their turn moments piecing, and hope for the best. Yeah, I think so too, T-Core. Turn off the animations, and they're still gross. They just clash. It's like somebody rubbed tinfoil on them really hard, and I don't understand when people kind of have that card ego of like, oh look, I got all foils. It's like, good job, jackass. It's like, I don't want them. I remember when foils first came online, I'd give like my foil for 4 of whatever the normal one was, and I was just shaking my head going, have fun. I was looking forward to this Mignitary, and that curious how the crushings now are gone, or stone. I'm not quite Vaporundi. I think there's a mouse running on your keyboard. That or my glasses are screwed up. Okay, we've got this. Let's see how much this is going to cost. 4. All right. I'll bring it out there. If they kill it, we've got an option to bring it out here. This just represents some really, really, really fast damage. Let's see. I can go... I kind of want this thing to die. Yeah, I'm going to attack. He's going to be like, what? What's he playing with here? Mutagenic growth? Nope, I just want it dead. Go get me a crusher pretty soon. He's not going to be attacking us, so. Ah, Thulsa Doom. Yeah, interesting. Hey, Thulsa Doom. That's the bad guy in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, right? Only reason I know that, my youngest used to love that movie. Still does. And I remember we were looking at Lego figures, and that was one of the guys you could get. So, Tangle Golem kind of laughs at Seagate defense technology. He discards Deep Analysis. Interesting. We've got Mold Shambler, and that will come online next. Yeah, we're going to Tusker here. Okay. Conan the Barbarian. All right. Yes, we want to draw this. Wow, what a flooded game. Man, maybe we should cut a land. Maybe I should make it 10 lands. Good news is next turn we're going to be able to kick the Shambler. If he counters it, we can go get it with Murasa. These are all theories, by the way. I thought of running Edge of Autumn. If you can bring that up in the card bot, I'd appreciate it. One of my co-pilots, Shiraz Amon Little Fight. That would be pretty cool. You would think so, Shiraz, but I sure hope this isn't the Stonehorn build because, well, Hellsaw's an amazing. I think he's the inventor of the deck, but he's an amazing pilot of it. And I had him against the ropes twice yesterday. Early in the morning, I had to finish up. I was 4-0, and then I lost to him. I'm like, ugh. But then right after that's when I got the 5-0. So that was pretty cool. Portal of the Conan the Barbarian movie. Oh man, I'm not gonna doubt you, Mike, man. But that's weird. I just didn't know that. Okay. I think we bring threats out. Another thing about Mold Shambler, there's so many 1/3s in the format between Augur of Bolas, Seagate Oracle, etc. that this just really asks them the big question. I don't know what that question is, but I'm about to ask one here. We're going to kick it while we've got it. They don't have any colored sources, and we're going to go after the power plants. Kill that up, and he's already going to be at 7 if he doesn't block. It's feeling all right. I'm really worried, though. This doesn't bode well for us. I think if this was Hellsaw, this would almost be an auto lose. I know I keep giving him mega props, but he deserves it. He's a hell of a pilot against it. Ha. Yeah, once you've got it, though, you want to be able to cycle. There's oftentimes you just have too many damn cards. All right, well, may have got to turn off stuff here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's let him keep the towers maybe and turn off the colored ability, so he has to use that, I think. That might be the play. Boom, we can't attack. That was not an optical illusion. That's the Stonehorn Dignitary's ability. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent skips the next combat phase. And, news to me about a month ago, these stack. So if they do it a bunch of times, you're screwed. Here comes probably a flicker. Yep. Which we will, if he doesn't drop a more offending land, I think we're going to be really quick to nail that other grotto with our Mwonvuli Acid-Moss. And you see, we're getting that land count now. We're more than halfway through our lands, and we've got 40 cards left. So I love this. He's flooded on towers. Ooh-wee. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll grab this. We've only got 3 lands left. I'm going to do this just because all he's going to have access to is, see how it feels like a land destruction deck when it's supposed to? And hopefully one of these dies, and then it'll really start feeling that way. I went after that tower there, kind of an aggro play, just because a 3 represents a lot of flickering tricks. Yeah, it's fun blowing up lands that are ugly too. Not that, I mean, white border foils, I don't even know if those exist. That would be optimal to be able to blow those up. Okay, so we're going to run on over here. Hopefully he has a way of killing these. What we really want to see here is maybe a moment's peace. Good times. That's fine. This is when it is good against moment's peace decks, because it's like, well, you know, one island here and he's back in it. One land. Flicker, boom, pow. All right. Got one game up against him. Again, I know a lot of you kind of scratching your head going, Deluxe, isn't that really favorable for you? It isn't. If they're super strong pilots, it's not a good matchup. I actually like keeping in some Serrated Arrows in this. Main reason being a lot of our 3/3s, sometimes they run into a wall and they flicker. Sometimes they forget the Serrated Arrows ability, can nab it and stop the combo from happening, but I don't like it enough to run more than one. And I think we just bring in Penumbra Spider just for extra, you know, they do try to finish you off with, what do you call Mold Drifters. That being said, I'm going to bring these in and just go aggro. That Serrated Arrows is kind of folly logic there. Hopefully you guys are liking the deck. Anybody out there hate it? Anybody out there love it? I love it. It's kind of, I think if I renamed it, it'd be like Christmas morning. It's like you just get all these big toys and it's like, holy crap, you know, just that, those mega Christmas outings. If you celebrate that, where, you know, you're just like, man, mom and dad really went overboard. Oh, I like that saying. Might be quite God here. Heck with good. Woo! One enchantment, and this is going to explode. Like if we have, you know, Wild Growth followed by a, you know what. But we're going to keep this. Again, the beggars can't be choosers argument sort of thing. We gotta respect that we don't have that many lands here. Paparuni says, good deck. Yeah, my wife was cracking up. She's always as any old married couple is, you know, calling me out on stuff. And I was sitting there, the pad and paper, it was like one of the only times I wasn't playing Magic. And there I am writing about it and just going, you know, in theory, a ramp deck, if you really went all in and stopped the cuteness of like the 1/2 Sarter and stuff like that, and leaning too heavily on like the enchantment lands and untapping them or the other way, I was like, man, why hasn't anybody done this? And then she was laughing. She goes, I'm sure somebody has. I was like, no, I'm always first. Whew. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go boom, 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 boom. Optimal. We could do this, but I want to do this because we've got Crusher next turn. Crusher. Turn 3. Eat that ugly Tron glowy thingy. Actually, those, you know, the foil on Tranquil Cove kind of represents where the sun hits just naturally. It's just complete serendipity that the art department got that, but what are you going to do? Far Wanderer, yep, believe me, I have looked at them all. In fact, I had a build that I went, and that's how I'm fond of doing. I went overboard at first. It was just ramp for ramp's sake. All I wanted was Crushers, and then I was like, well, I almost always want Crushers, even in this low land build, because the fixing is so good. You almost always want one. As you saw there, I wish if that hadn't been in the deck, I wouldn't have drawn the Crusher. So, all right. 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, we could be really cruel and blow stuff up, but I'm just going to get the dude out there. 4. Oh, we don't have it yet, do we? Yeah, let's slow down a little bit here. I'll tempted to grab that power plant. I'll grab the power plant. Sorry, I misspoke. One little turn behind. We'll go like this. We'll definitely have it next turn. Boom. Boom. And it's always fun playing against a ramp deck in Tron itself. And then it's like, this is what you mean to be doing, isn't it, sir? Check this out. Ooh, I kind of want to attack there. If he attacks, I'll block. How's that? Hopefully, M carries 16, but, or Mr. Carry, very resilient deck. Ooh, I do like this old artwork, the old. All right, so we're 2-1. Took down Tron 2-0. Now, I think against 90% of the players out there, this is really heavily favored against Tron, especially normal Tron. But if it's the Stonehorn Dignitary variety, I've just seen Hellsaw wiggle out of too many what I thought were good locks, and it's like he had oil all over him. I was like, Jesus. It's like I thought I had this game, and then a few turns later, you're just like, damn it. We've all been there, right? So while we're waiting for our next opponent, and don't go anywhere, we're going to be covering, we've got that new commercial. It's not a full-blown commercial, just kind of a nice little homage to our buddy Lovecraft in the house. Every Friday, Pauperganda, 12 p.m. PST. He's always here without fail, and had some good suggestions, so we made his own brand of sunscreen for that. So yeah, ugliest card by far in this deck, but yeah, if you like doing big stuff, and even COP green, if you'll notice between this, the benefits of the golem creatures here and this, it's pretty silly. Plus, even if that wasn't the case, let's not forget we've got 4 of these and 4 of these, so it's like playing 8 of these. And I'm beating that over the drum over and over again, but just want that to really ring true there. It's very good time. So do you think Burn should keep going 3 Molten Rains? They seem slow and doesn't do anything to Tron really. Yeah, I'm not a fan of land destruction, and for that same reason, between crop rotation, the flicker, and then Murasa, it's not enough. If it did 4 damage, yeah. And there's going to be those hands where you're like, hey, wait a minute. So we're going to keep this. Very unselfish hand here. I think we're going to wait on land grant. Oftentimes I do. T-Core 2. I'm working on a Mono Black Devotion prison deck. One of my fun tricks is faceless butchering my own Grey Merchant and edicting myself. Nice. Yeah, there's quite a few sack effects where that's one card I think hasn't seen enough love is Faceless Butcher. I know the professor was touting it over Obulate, or however you say that. Having a good old time. Let's cast the pretty one first in case he duresses us. We'll go from here. I could land grant here. What I like instead is land granting next turn in case we do draw a land. We'll be that much more early on. We kind of want to see the land. So yeah, if this is Boros, it's almost an auto win. Better be careful what I say, right? Watch for 20 minutes from now, I'll be like, oh crap. Reveal our hand. Crusher time. Put this out. No secret what we're doing. So one more land grant would be cool, but boy, look at this next pilgrimage. It's gonna be nuts. We're going to have like 4 lands left in our deck next turn. And off to that. See, Elf would be really nice, wouldn't it? But thanks to Pilgrimage, it's just, you know, maybe a turn behind it. And it probably would have eaten a Galvanic Blast Breathman anyway. Actually, I'm always wondering why Burn doesn't run Kiln Fiend. It's just, you have to answer that. The nanosecond that happens. All right, guys, here's the moment we all know and love. 1, 2, 3, put it into play, why don't ya? Oh, man, if we only had a Snake Shaman. So we've got Crusher next turn. Isn't that pretty? I mean, that's the slow version. That's like, okay, no elves, no cheating, just an honest ramp deck. With the very big side benefit, we're probably not going to draw any more lands. Yeah, that's a really good point, Spell Slam. That's at least in the sideboard. I think I might run 2/2, but I'm not 2 in a burn. There's just too much life gain out there. And we're not too, when you play Crushers, you're not too worried about even an obscene life gain. They get to like the 200 mark maybe. But no, this is a little redundant. Thanks a lot, Empath. Maybe if it was the good artwork, it would have showed up earlier or much later. But so he's probably got Journey to Nowhere. But you know what we've got for that? And it's not Quiet Disrepair. It's Mold Shambler. That's always good times. And I really like the psychology of the Crusher. When people attack into it and they have red sources, you just usually don't want to block. Here we go. If he's got another one, this might be a game. Of course, we don't really have anything in our graveyard, but you can always I can always return his Secluded Step to his hand. Looks like he might be hurting for red. Hey, who knows? Maybe this is just a mono white Boros build. He's like, screw red. I don't need that. If red shows up, I might be in pain here pretty quick. So I'm going to diversify in case he's got some weird stuff. Make him scared. Always choose red if you've just got everything set. It's like, what the hell? Make them consider things. All right, here we go. Come on, Mold Scrambler or Mold Shambler. That's what it is. And I poked fun at myself a few weeks. I played a card that said Old Shambler. Quit saying basically, Shiraz. I'm going to boot you out of the, what's that called? The Skylock? The Airlock? Airlock, that's the term. I want a feature where if the word basically comes up, it blocks the person from typing for like 10 minutes. That would be awesome. Somebody please. 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll drop this dude down. This is just going to get ugly now. Bye-bye, Journey. This thing is so flexible. I love the beast. Pop. Wait, cancel that. We'll go get something big. How about another Crusher? He could technically have 3 journeys in his hand, so let's go invest. Or Tangle Golem would just be free, right? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll just get Tangle Golem. Hey, look at that. It's free. Woohoo! Here comes the pain. Here comes the pain. Boom, boom, boom. I was just joking, 8-6. Chill, buddy. Killed a Planewalker with that Mold Shambler. People were confused. That'd make a good t-shirt. What's he doing here? Oh, this is getting me a little scared. Double Galvanic Blast and all this awesome board presence doesn't mean a thing. That's scary. Maybe he's got one and he's looking for the second. I'm going to Pulse of Murasa no matter what if he taps out on his secluded step. Just get us out of range here. Woo! Little nerve-wracking when you're doing that, but so far I've never even lost one game to Boros, and it's, you know, one of the top 3 decks. So if you like this deck and you want a reason to play it, it has pretty solid game against a lot of the top decks, and the other ones it can play pretty even with, as long as you're kind of used to it. So these arrows don't do much in this matchup, but boy, do the spiders. It becomes a game of Mother May I with Journey to Nowhere here, because you take away the burn, which Pulse of Murasa usually delivers enough juxtaposition with life totals variance that the spiders are just, you know, if they're going to use Journey to Nowhere on them, good. Ulamog's going to eat them. If not, they kind of have to try to burn you out, and with 4 pulses main, this silly old man says, you'll do fine. All right. Yeah, we're good. I don't think Quiet Disrepair is good there. You're not going to be using it offensively as far as blowing up things. They also have access to their core sanctifiers and blowing up, getting a 2-for-1 on you. Not a fan. We're not dying that quickly to Boros. I don't think it's good, Mr. Carry 16 against Journey. I mean, turn later, yeah. End of turn stuff I might like, but I just maybe if I had to take out 4 real bad cards, and yeah, it's never dead. You can always gain life, and there's situations where it can come up. So I shouldn't say that. I apologize, but I don't know. It's just not optimal. Well, we got a really enchantment heavy build here. We've got the anti-technon. We'll keep this 1 elf or 1 land. Even if we don't get that, we'll be all right. I mean, except if he's running Molten Rain, that would really suck. Here we were just saying like you shouldn't run that, but in this one scenario, it would kind of suck. Okay, well, we'll get rid of our ugly one first in case he's got some weird little end of turn disenchant, thinks we're stuck on 1 land, which we are, but our 1 enchantment, I should say. What's this? Cycling the Step. Whoop, whoop. Boy, those planes are pretty. I've got a few of these in my tribe deck. His mana's right. I'm not happy. Okay, well, next turn this is going to get ugly. We'll go like this for green. Please don't have... if he has a Molten Rain now, that would be devastating. But, as you can tell, we're going to just completely get out of the woods here if he doesn't with either a Pilgrimage or a Acid-Moss for the white. That might be the way to roll here. I think I'm going to Acid-Moss. Let's take out the white. We'll go get land. And then we'll Pilgrimage next turn. Okay. We're all kind of chuckling to ourselves knowing I've got 4 Pulse of Murasas. Well, that negates that. Zap. Okay. Maybe he's just got a really heavy burn draw. Not sure. And that'll be our next target. If we draw a land here, we'll bring out the Mold Shambler. Nope. Okay. Well, let's go have some fun. 1, 2. Put this down. Play this one. Holy crap. Now we've got 3. We could pull some Murasa here. No, that's folly. I just want to consider it. We've got... Well, we can play everything but Crusher. If we draw a land, we can play it too. Not seeing any critters here. There's one. As you can see, Penumbra Spider is just going to say, screw you, Skyfisher, for days, if not weeks. Let's see. Well, that's kind of cool. 2, 3. That's 4. I want to drop the spider here. Drop the golem. I'll pass the turn. Something will probably die this turn. Then we'll start playing Murasa tricks or kicking the Shambler. His mana is real even now, so I don't know what to really nail that Shambler with. Hey, there's a target. I'll go grab that. 2. Let's see. That's there. Better than us. Better than us. Here's that. Okay. So yeah, we'll bring out Shambler, which will deal with pretty much stop the offense. This is great. He's only got 1 card, so at worst we're at 8 life. Notice I haven't punted at all today. Got rid of F6. Funny things happen. Let's do this. Get a little 2-for-1 sale. Woo! Today at Murasa's Market. Buy 1 journey, get a second one free. Boy, next turn is now. In this scenario, if he knew our hand, he would want to kill that Arbor Elf. That is just. Bleh. This is going to be a puke turn. Got 8 mana right here with the elf. Going to be gross. I did punt round 1. I forget what did I do. Oh, I don't mind if you call it, buddy. That's usually it's F6 related, but I'll have to rewatch it or let me know. See, I'll block this all day long if he's going to waste a bolt on it. And then I've got a Murasa target. Doesn't do nothing, and the bluff is called. All right. Boom, boom, boom. 3 lands. I am going to keep Murasa options open. Why not just do it now? Gain some life. Attack. Go like this. Next turn I'll go crazy. Feeling safe with the life total now. That's right. Yeah, I was just, like I said, I was just watching some stuff going, Jesus, it was like 80% of my things were just F6 and myself. I'm like, how about I take that away? Good things started happening. It's an impatient thing, just over like an evolution of playing the game, just like F6, F6, F6. Pass the turn. Let's do things quicker. Okay. Journey to Nowhere. Aptly named when you're running 4 Mold Shamblers. Alright, it's about to turn into Golem Town here. I just don't know what this is. What, a lightning bolt? And that's... Yeah, I gotcha moment. Oh, okay. There we go. That's not bad. It kind of is, though. I wouldn't want to draw that next turn. Alright. We'll go like this. Go like this. Play this dude. Now we got trample with our golem. Come on. Get out there, you. There's that. How much does this guy cost? 3? What a ripoff. So even here, thinking about cards like Electricity. Yeah, it grabs 2 L's, but it's nothing. And what else would it grab? it grabbed the Golem, which could turn into Murasa bait, which could turn into 6 more damage and trample. So it has a neat illusionary effect of Electricity being good against it. But I promise you, play 10 games with it. Actually, play about 20 with it. There might be one game where you're like, ouch. The other times you're like, you kind of have that this cavalier attitude of like, okay, you know, catch yourself saying that in games. It's usually a good thing. Let's attack here first. He might lose some permanence. Again, we just have a wanton ability to just attack because it's like, oh, if this stuff dies, that's great. It's just going to come back, especially like this Shambler. He probably doesn't want to block that if he's seen any part of this deck before. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Spell Slam, thank you for that. And that was a viewer idea on Facebook. They were like, hey, man, you ever try this? And I was like, why the hell didn't I see that? Like, I'm always telling people, don't tell me stuff. Believe me, I know all the cards, blah, blah, blah. But this one slipped through, and I did miss the synergy. So I'll have let me write that down. I gotta give that guy props. I should have written down his name, but I'll make sure to mention it sometime. Or I'll say props Golem. I'll know what that means and spend 5 minutes looking on Facebook for it. All right, so we're going to untap this, go like this. This will probably get a concession unless he's got 8 more journeys in his hand. I'm not sure. This is the scenario, too, where I like to just kick Tribe Elder. I don't even wait. Just like, get out of Landtown. Man, we got a lot of lands left. That sucks. We're going to be flooded soon. 11 lands is too many. The list, it'll be up real quickly. There's versions of it, but I'm going to be running this in the challenge, so... Well, yeah, the list will be up on the video. I always do that, so that might be a folly thing, but we'll see. Huge fan. Unfortunate to have been destroyed so heavily. Interesting deck. Thanks, by the way. Where could I find your deck list? Oh, Kura, it'll be online. Sorry. As we all know, I can't chat. Hey, didn't give me time to chat, so I don't feel like such a jerk. So we're 3... what is it? 3-1. That's how we say that. Hey, Lovecraft. Baby, this one is for you.
From the volcano of Balaku to the leech-ridden swamps of Agadir, cast off all your inhibition. At the only casino in all Dominaria, experience the pinnacle of personal pleasure. Venture boldly at Rakdos Casino, and may all your underworld dreams come true. Rakdos Casino, the place for premium pleasures.
I'm Reset Smith. I'm 4 years old. I enjoy jetpack racing, human boxing, and early Tate brothers. My ideal date would be with a female human who is at least 4 feet shorter than me and light enough for me to carry above my head and sprint for 100 yards. We could go to a nice appliance store and grab the spinning fans. Or maybe go stare at an eclipse while screaming at it. And that man was Eli Whitney. Then we could retire back to my place and play 100 games of video pong. Or simply get to know one another by dragging each other around my living room with a large magnet. I'm talking. My favorite movie is The Apple Dumpling Gang, Conway. I have a real sweet tooth.
And we're back. All right, last round. Okay, we'll keep this. To answer your question, 8686, maybe 10. But using a lot of mana calculators and such. I know 11 seems a little random, but that was kind of the key. You also run into that attrition ratio where you'd almost have to cut a pilgrimage if you went much lower. But it's always fun casting that and just completely knowing you have no lands left. Matthew Braun, thank you for that, T-Core. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Ugh, boy, I hope land destruction shows up in spades. What a disgusting land. God, I hate white borders. I am a vehement card-bordered racist. I hate white borders. All right. Off to Tribe Elder land, Pilgrimage. If that doesn't work, we'll do this. All right. Let's do this instead. We'll reveal the hand. He's like, huh? Grab this. Play this. Go with this. Hey, we got 4 lands to his 1. Good times. And then that. Play this. Alright. We got everything online in about 1.5 more turns, whatever that means. Thank you for that, Mr. Carry 16. Appreciate that. Hey, at least this didn't happen on turn 1, the Delver here. Knows what we're up against. This will be close. This flips. I don't really have any air defense outside of 3 cards in our list. Be so cool to drop Serrated Arrows next. We do run 2 of them main. We have thinned our deck out. And see, we're up a card against a blue deck. Isn't that cool? A cool feeling? 1, 2, next turn. Alright, well, just in time for counterspell probably. Hopefully this Delver doesn't flip and we can at least feign the block. Oh, I don't mind the artwork so much, decor. It is the white border. Oh, I hate those things. Just aesthetically, ugh. Terrible. Alright, we like this. And this scenario is one of the few times I won't trip Elder. If it can get me a Delver of Secrets in the bag, I'm cool with it. There's been maybe 1 or 2 games where it's like I'll still do it, but I'm a little worried about this matchup. It's feeling good now, but it looks like they're just blue, which means they probably got a Vapor Snag and company in their hand, and a lot of times that's why you need Quiet Disrepair to just buy you those turns. We're not too afraid of Gush here. I just do this now. All right, I've only got what, 5 lands left? That's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, only 5 lands left in our build. 47 cards left in each of our decks. He's got about 14 cards left. I've got 5 that we don't want to draw. That's one of them. I'm just gonna pop this. Maybe could, if I knew he was on days, that might be a bad thing. We'll see. Never mind. We've got enough. I forgot. That isn't a bad play. Whoo! Here we go. Let's pop this. Now, if he's got Gush, okay, it's like a 2-for-1 because if it follows up with the real land destruction and the Acid-Moss or another Shambler, it usually ends up being a pretty nasty play. And plus, we're kind of in the race strategy here, so we're going to have like maybe 4 against 3, and then it's 6, and then it's 9, and if his resources don't start showing up, we might have it. What's the correct play to drop a Hill Giant to race? Well, I'd have to see a lot. I just have to know a lot more about the board state and scenario there. It does happen. If you're up against somebody just running like sheer Murasas and there's no point in blowing things up, which usually there is, but I like this hand for this artwork. Guy seems to really be fixated on these things, doesn't he? Not shuffle. So we're probably going to run into a counterspell here. What's kind of cool about this 4, 6, wow, we've got the Crusher. I don't think I want to play it. What do you guys think? You know, he didn't shuffle. He's got counterspells here. Boo, Mr. Carey. I don't hate you. I just hate the white bordered art. That's all. Yeah, it's a good point. 8-6. Make them have it. Of course, they do have a bunch of, what do you call, bounce. Even if they don't have it, it might be a Vapor Snag end of turn, which will be at 10, which is what I think's going to happen. If it, oh, interesting. I think they would do that at the end of the turn, unless they've got Snap. Digging for the bounce. Now the Shambler's online will really add to the migraine effect of crunch time. Wish I could have done a little bit better against elves. I'm telling you, I have won more than I've lost, but I will admit I lose every first game, maybe with one exception, against elves. It's fascinating me, though, this last few months really studying land destruction, and at its core, some of the best matchups are aggro. That Quarian Ranger doesn't show up. It's very good times. Well, let's see what they got first. Here comes the snap. All right. Attack. Gonna be close either way. 2, 4, 7, 8. Let's reveal our hand. Make sure not to cast this. In case there's a daze. 4 lands left. Play around a daze there. Yeah, Acid-Moss would be... Come on, please have a daze. That'd be awesome. That's another thing. You don't really have to worry about daze in games 2 if this deck does what it should. Well, if he doesn't counter this or have a bounce with 2 permanents out. Okay, there's that. Yeah, we better get a Murasa here real quick. That'll at least buy us like a turn and a half. Double Shambler in the house. We've got 1 counterspell down. Really need one of our 4 Murasas to show up. That would be very nice. Especially because we can do it at end of turn with the Shambler kicked. Notice no ninjas. It's like must keep counter magic open. Must. Keep them guessing as to what that last one is. Only 1 turn after this. Brainstorm. Let's see what he does. Well, nothing to see really. They don't have a shuffle effect. That can be one depressing card. Acidic Slime. I knew what you meant, Mr. Carey. Indeed. Spell Stutter is really going to put a crimp on the math. Puts me at 1 turn. Blow that up. We've got to drop Murasa. Now I'll do that. I suspected he had one of those in his hand. I didn't want to have excuse me, an extra blocker for free. But yeah, we'll be at 1 life next turn. If he's got a ninja, we're dead. He probably does. Like I said, this and elves are the 2. I don't really so much mind Delver Red, especially with the latest build. Used to be kind of a 50-50 now. So far, a little bit slightly. The problem with a lot of the builds, and that's why I'm really kind of try to stick to this deck for, in my personal life anyway, not so much on Twitch, for a week or 2, just so I can kind of become, and I feel it happening where, you know, I become a lot better with the deck as time goes on. But one of the biggest drawback, I'm always pimping the benefits of playing Rogue. The big drawback is you're, you know, that whole master of none, jack of all trades sort of thing. You can fall into that trap really quick. And so one little misplay against somebody that really knows what they're doing, and it's like, damn it, you know, loss. And just somebody plays the same deck week after week after week. They better win. Kind of egg on their face if they don't, right? All right, 3 of these come in. I'm going to get rid of all of the gush bait here. And the Mold Shamblers, just keep in the 1. So I like to board with this. It's nice and easy to remember. Take out all the land destruction deck. Keep only 1 Shambler in. Everything else is kill, kill, kill. Free, free, free. Life, life, life. Woohoo! Let's hope. Hey, we're at least 3-2. Even if we lose right now, we're even money. I always say even money. It's actually 3-2 is actually a little bit better because you get your entry fee back and a booster. So you make like $2.50, $3 depending on the market. Yeah, I want to play first. So I don't want to come across like condescending or anything, but I kept getting a lot of people saying like, oh, I played this deck and it's never drawing right, blah, blah, blah. I hope today, I don't know, maybe it likes me. I've played way too many things for this to be variants. I will say, you know, like I said, about 1 in 20 games you're going to get like mulligan, mulligan, mulligan. But for every one of those, you're going to get. I mean, this is kind of a flooded hand. We got 3 lands. We'll keep it. If you're new to this deck, you might be really eager. Oh, I want to. No, you always drop the elf first, for very obvious reasons. If you have an enchantment draw or anything else, you can just accelerate crazy into. We'll do the Acid-Mosses, spiders, arrows. Oh my! Sounds like a 3/2 is worth it. You played well, Mr. Carey 16. I appreciate that. Doesn't hit creature unless it's an enchantment, land, or artifact. Yeah, that would be nice if it did. I don't mind that. I really hate a first turn Delver. Even with lots of other help that can be really hard to recuperate from. We're going to play this. This is when I hope everybody's on days. I love that. Let's go. Boom. We'll play this on this. Start gaining life right away. Yeah. We'll untap this. And hey, he doesn't need to... We'll just cast this. Can't do anything else. Play this. And we're flooded. Flooded with 11 lands. You bastards. All right, here we are. This man is going to get gross pretty quick. Got a little lucky there. No ninja. No reason to really attack other than just kind of keep us always healed. Telling you this thing is mean against this. I've already got kind of the mana we want. Is he really going to counter this? Wow. Really respects the ramp, huh? That got us 2 lands, but I mean, we've got lands in our hand and we've got plenty of mana here. I'm very... Actually, if I could go back in time and make him do that, I would. That's a counter spell for something we didn't need. And we're gaining life, so... But, you could also infer that that means he's probably got 3 more in his hand and he's just got a very heavy counter draw deck, so... Granger Guildmage. That's another card if you wanted to add red to this deck. Don't overlook that card. Very under... Actually... I can't even say it's underplayed. It's just not played. Pretty awesome if you're of the Gruul persuasion. I just don't understand some of these plays. It's almost like he lost badly the first game, but he beat us. I feel like tilt plays. Gain 2 life. Of course, again, one of the other benefits of Rogue. Hey, well, it ended up being a pretty good move there. People just don't know what the hell you're doing. Got to have another snag if that was the move there. Or a snap. Everybody in the chat, chime in, please. It's getting kind of quiet, guys. I'm feeling lonely. Here comes 4, or I should say 2 with the Quiet Disrepair ticking away there. What's neat too is once the Delver player traditionally gets a little upset with you staying alive and their aerial math not working out, you can kind of bait out a counter spell with it. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can do that. If he counters it, we'll have a Murasa target, which will just keep us alive longer. And this is daze proof. So our Mold Shambler shows up. All right. Double counter spell. What am I going to do? I guess I'm going to pass the turn and go get it back. Or if I draw another enchantment, we'll be all set. So yeah, make no mistake. This is a tough matchup just because of the bounce. That's why I was very glad to see this just kind of a reckless play of Vapor Snag in my opinion. But we'll see. Nailbiter Sisters comes. I'm happy to... 3-2 on Twitch is like 4-1 in real life. Of course, I haven't, outside of that first round, I know 8-6 said I punted something, but I can't really, I usually write down when I make a egregious error, but they're usually F6 related, and now I've just got my stop set to the OK button. I had it to where you could just pass it till you can respond, and that got me in deep water once, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to just dumb this way down, because I'm like a crack addict with Yielding tricks. Cheddar the squirrel, yeah. Elephant ambush is something I thought of running in the sideboard. If we want to go with the green flashback nostalgia. Oh, yeah, nicely said there, Donner Stage Drafter. I think that might be the first time you've chimed in, my friend. Don't be a stranger. Keep them coming. So if we get an enchantment here, 2, 4, 6, 7. If we get a land here, we get just about anything here. Actually, not an enchantment. He just revealed a null. So let's shove that down. I've always liked that art. It's kind of subtle. I don't know why I like it. I think it's this brown tone with the juxtaposition of, as far as the color wheel goes, it's like a perfect balance. It's not so much the art itself. It's just the color. The prismatic love. Gain 2 life. Gotta be real careful, huh? Doing lots of clicking here. He's gotten a null. Well, maybe he won't use it. Rather him use it on that than something else. That's cool. 1 less card in his hand. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Now let's go get the Shambler back. Gain some life. Might be tempted to just play this. I'm going to do that. You were asking earlier, when's the scenario to cast just the vanilla bear? Can't do it there. Make him at least think that I'm thinking of something else. Who knows? Maybe he'll drop some weird thing that we can target. But the Mold Shambler is just there as a 3/3 body this way. Yeah, Sprout Swarm's been brought up a few times. You know, if that's your thing, go for it. I wouldn't like to open this up to making Electrickery a thing. I kind of like keeping that at bay. So now we're taking 4 a turn if a ninja doesn't show up. That'll make it 5. No ninjas. Interesting. Boy, you know, we have 4 arrows and 3 spiders. Be really nice if one shows up. That worries me. Snapping his own guy. He's probably got another snap or a snag in his hand. Let's see what he shows us here. Falling into disrepair. Pretty tired. Want to watch till the end, though. Oh, thank you for that, Nimchimsky. And holler when you think of something that little commercial so we can get you a little shout out too, my friend. Gain 2 life. Yeah, I was watching like a Corona commercial the other day, and all it was just the beer on the beach and some sound effects, and I'm like, why do I have to kill myself over these things? I can just do that. All right, we'll reveal the hand, and we'll try to drop the Crusher, see if they've got it. He kind of knows what's in our hand right now. -1 card. Not that big of a cheat, right? Watch him have days here. They'd be like, damn it. It's probably a snap if it lands. Cue the boing sound effect in about 3 seconds. This deck is so skill intensive, says No Simo. Avoiding killing the Sprawl and Quiet Disrepair has to be the most difficult thing in all Magic. It can be. Hey, our Mold Shambler is going to be able to do something. I'm kind of... He must have a counterspell for that. Maybe I'll just draw another one. I mean, look how dead we'd be without this card. I mean, we've gained like 12 life off of this thing. That would have easily been like for death right there. And gain 2 life. All right. Not a fan of that tap card. There's just too many ways out of it. Grant something protection, that sort of thing. He knows what's in our hand already, so free deck thinning here. We'll play it. Play this. Blow that up. It's going to buy a counter spell. It is. Okay. Getting a wee bit worried here. We're taking 3 a turn. Opponent's got an island and something else in his hand. Yeah, T-Core, there's quite a few decks I know that did that. I've got a list somewhere where that's made. I just don't really have the patience to play that. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm so tempted to block that Augur. All right, come on over. Can we please draw some quality here? We've totally nixed our land base here. Come on. There's the play. See what I mean? That's when these enchantments can kind of feel like flood, or if there was a way to also thin enchantments out of this list, oh gosh, I would take it. I mean, a benefaction of Ronus and those kind of things aside. Let's see. At this stage, it's better to just keep that in my hand, that nice long pause there. Plays a sprite here. I'm not really too concerned. Taking quite a bit, though. This is going to start adding up if we don't start drawing quality. I mean, one Serrated Arrows, one Spider, one just about anything. Another Pulse of Murasa would be nice. Anything but the thing we're not supposed to draw the most, which is what we've designed for. At 8, even if we lose. 3-2 on the day. And I told you on the outset our worst matchups, and those are going to be our losses. So, yeehaw. I use that combo deck with Impact Tremors, SD Core 2, and the enchantments deals 1 damage to each. Yeah, that's very cool. When that works, it's like, wow, it's a gorgeous deck. Whenever I try to brew it, I'm just looking at lands and enchantments. I'm like, where's my creatures? All right, let's go. You know what? Let's see if he's got enchantment 8 here. Of course. All right, let's drop this. Maybe we can get a spell starter sprite to join the party. Yeah, hoodwink, one of my favorite words too. Love it. Yep. Boink. 1, 2, 3. Massive Raid. Deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of creatures you control. Yeah, I'd rather just go all goblins and use Goblin War Strike. One damage. Okay, at this stage, I'm going to attack into a sprite. I want him to block. I think we're going to go 3-2 here, guys. I was really pushing for that 4-1, but we ran into our 2 Nemesis decks. Like I said, this isn't so hard, games 2 and 3, but the problem with Elves and Mono Blue with its bounce is that it's getting to that game 3. You've got to... We should have drawn better. I mean, we're really flooded here. Maybe I should cut to 10 lands. Dun dun dun. One flip. How cool is Quiet Disrepair? Pulse of Murasa maybe. And dead. But I hope you guys like the deck. I swear by it. I've kind of really locked into this being the build. Going to go over it here real quick for those of you that don't want to rewind or we're kind of late to the party. We only run 11 lands, but we've got the acceleration of the Wild Growth, the Utopia Sprawl, and the Arbor Elf. And then those happen in varying degrees, and they're able to make things happen in varying degrees. 1 Penumbra Spider main, 2 Serrated Arrows main. It's kind of our anti-Delver little creature package. The Acid-Moss, sometimes you can nail yourself with it if you're expecting Gush and such. 4 Crushers, 4 Splicers, Tusker, and 1 Golem. For why, you might say, because we're running 3 of this little toolbox. It's like the green Trinket Mage, but for much bigger presence on Christmas morning. 4 Land Grants, easily the worst card in the deck, but it's a necessary evil when you're playing a ramp deck and you don't want to get flooded. I'm really trying to 2-for-1 myself in an efficient way of like, okay, I'm really getting all the lands out of this deck. Especially with this, these two coincide. Sometimes you can have 1 or 2 of these in your first 2 turns, and then boom, spell mastery triggers. If it doesn't, I've been over this ad nauseum. It doesn't matter. You're just, once this hits, if they mess with your elf or enchantments, it doesn't really matter. Everything starts working. So you pull some Murasa stuff back. We run 4 of these and 4 Mold Shamblers, kind of pick up the pieces of everything else. And our sideboard, it wasn't enough, believe it or not. I know when I started this, a lot of you were probably rolling your eyes. 4 Spore Frogs, 4 Moments Peace. Couple that with the Murasa, and you've got 16 fog effects. That's way too much, you silly old man. Well, it wasn't enough, was it? It usually is, so we'll just mark that down to a variance and a bad beat, but what you going to do? 3 Quiet Disrepairs, very good against Delver, as we saw, keeping us alive, but we were flooded. Good God, look at this. It says 11, and we were flooded. 2 Penumbra Spiders, and 4 Serrated Arrows, which weren't enough, but they usually are against the Nemesis deck out there. So anyway, guys, yes, I'm going to be trying all weekend. I 5-0'd with this same list yesterday, went 3-2 today, and I'm sure I'll be playing a version of it on Sunday, probably the exact same version. It's kind of, I've played it enough now to where it's really kind of a I don't know what the word is, morphed into just kind of a stalwart, and I really like it, and I hope you like it too. But that being said, hey, this is Deluxekoff for Pauperganda. Stick around if you're new to us and you want to see a few more commercials. Otherwise, we've got a few ads to roll too. And with that being said, thanks for joining us here on Pauperganda. Questions, comments, concerns, and especially cool deck lists, send them our way at pauperganda@gmail.com. And we'll see you next Friday, everybody. Take care. Spread the love of the format. Everybody loves it. Make them love it. Show them what's up. And we'll talk to you guys next time on Pauperganda.
Hey all you Pauperganda Knights! Want a great deal that also helps Pauperganda? Well, you're in luck! Visit flipsidegaming.com for all your paper magic needs. Simply enter the code Pauperganda and get 10% off on all orders $10 or more. Plus, you'll help us too.
Master, what format is best? Let me show you. Vintage is very powerful. Legacy too. Modern is strong. There's standard. But the king of them all is Pauper.
How do you like that?
Attention Pauperganda Knights! Show your love of all things Pauper with our Ultra Deluxe Playmats. And true to our Pauper roots, the glorious artwork is 100% free.
Trying to give these guys everything they can get to me, and that's it.
Just send an email to pauperganda@gmail.com with the subject 1, 2, or 3, and we'll send you the playmat file for free.
I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning.
All you need to do is visit our friends at inkgaming.com. Order yours today.
It's the liquor of ages, the tonic of conquerors. Find your spark. Gin and tonic, making men into giants since 1856.